Smash franchise has been around for quite a while at this point, and it's had its fair share of metas, the Spaceys in Melee, Bayonetta and Cloud in Smash 4, and Steve in Ultimate. While all these characters are extremely strong, either having a 0 to death with very little counterplay, fast and effective moves, or just having a, in general, overtuned kit. All these characters and their movesets pale in comparison to, in my opinion, the most overpowered character in the entire franchise. And those of you who may have noticed I skipped Brawl know exactly where I'm going with this. I am, of course, referencing the King of Brawl, the character who had a stranglehold on every major he wasn't banned in, Meta Knight. Let me tell you, this name was not a joke. He was undoubtedly the meta of Brawl. While those of you who either skipped Brawl altogether or started playing much later may look at him and think, oh, he's not that bad, he's just a floaty character with decent aerials. While this might be true now in Ultimate and even Smash 4, all you have to do is take one step further back to Brawl to find out that he was the most absurd character that has ever been made. For starters, Meta Knight has the fastest air dodge in the game, being a whole frame faster than the entire cast. For the most part, the cast had air dodges which were active from frame 4 to frame 29, just like in Melee, while Meta Knight's was frame 3 to 29. Why? Good question. While it may not seem like a lot, having a whole 60th of a second of invulnerability is huge when used properly. Being able to escape what would be a true combo for the rest of the cast is extremely good, but it's not overpowered. Not really, because what makes him so strong is this treatment was given to all of his moves. Not a single one of them could be lesser than the rest of the cast. If we take a look over at his aerials, we'll find that they are almost laughably strong. And this is what skyrocketed him to his own tier in almost every tier list. For example, his up air is active on frame 3. Frame 3! So you physically cannot react to this move with an air dodge. You need to predict it. It just comes out faster than anything you can do. If that wasn't enough, it's also active until frame 13. You can spam this move 4.61 times in a second. So even if you predict it with your air dodge, he's just going to hit you with another one on the end lag. You can break out of hit stun with this ability, which is extremely strong, because in Brawl you could cancel horizontal movement with vertical movement, so you would just use this move, break out of hit stun, and then jump to survive what really should have killed you. Oh, and it has a 0 to death combo. All of this power in one ability is absurd. His forward air and back air are both honestly his worst aerials. I wish they were more interesting too, because they're not weak by any means. It's just a really good spacing move. Like, think base Joker back air. It's good, it's very good, but it's not something you're writing home about in comparison to everything else he has. His neutral air is another very strong move in his kit, which, much like his up air, also comes out on frame 3. This move makes Meta Knight spin in a circle and throw out a hitbox all around him. It makes this move really good for gimping recoveries because it's very easy to hit. You just need to be in their way while they're trying to recover, which makes it a pretty decent kill move due to its knockback and gimp potential, and it just sends at a weird angle. And it's fairly decent out of shield in my opinion. The only reason this move isn't used so much is for the simple reason that it's not out there. The rest of his kit is so unbelievably strong that it makes a move that would be considered very powerful on any other character just another move to him. And to end off his aerials, his down air finally breaks the cycle of coming out on frame 3, and instead, they decided it should come out in frame 1. This move comes out in the fastest time possible for a move in Smash. If it wasn't enough, this move also sends at an absurdly vile angle. This move wasn't technically a spike, but you could sure make it feel like it sometimes. When hit by this move off stage, and if it was spammed, you may as well have just called it the end of that stock, because you were not getting back on. Going into his specials now, I'm going to cover these from weakest to strongest. Starting off, we have the Dimension Cape. This move makes Meta Knight invisible and invincible for a short period of time, and teleports to a chosen location. Meaning that if the Meta Knight player so chose to, they could just teleport around the map, remaining invisible throughout the entire match. I should mention that this trick is banned in most, if not all, tournaments, but the fact that it can be done at all is insane. Next up, we have Drill Rush. It's probably one of the best recovery moves, and it's still only his second worst. The best way that I can explain why this move is so good is that it's extremely safe on shields and just safe in general. Having 3 frames of invincibility from frames 5 to 8 And this move taking you a pretty great distance, honestly, has to earn it the spot of top 5 moves in the entire game. After that, we have Meta Knight's Mach Tornado. This ability is what makes the 0 to death combo off of his up air possible. Due to the move's insane knockback, this move makes the Meta Knight turn into a tornado and has an 11 frame windup time, with hitboxes from a potential 12 to 104 frames. This move can last longer than a whole second, and on top of that, it can be auto-cancelled by landing on a platform, which allows you to remove a large amount of the move's ending lag. It also has the benefit of burning through an enemy's shield like a hot knife through butter, if they choose to attempt to shield it. The move's power does not end there, though. If you're in the air above Meta Knight, then you are never going to touch the ground again, unless you have a projectile to contest it. The move lasts way too long to air dodge, and the hitbox is far too big for most characters to attack through, which all in all makes this move almost uncontestable, but still not his best move. Finally, the most powerful move Meta Knight has is his Shuttle Loop, where Meta Knight spins in a circle, having consistent hitbox throughout the entire thing. This would not be strong if it didn't have a myriad of other effects. The move has a 7 frame startup time, and he's invincible from frames 5 to 8, just like the Mach Tornado. It is the best out of shield option that has ever been made, making it almost impossible to hit as you only have 4 frames to do it. After that, it is accompanied by an 8 to 13 frame strong hitbox, a 14 to 21 medium hitbox, and a 22 to 31 weak hitbox. Oh, and this move is also capable of being auto-cancelled. So forget what I said about the weak hitbox even existing. For one final effect of this move, it is the best recovery in the entire game. I'll try to keep these short because if I explained everything, we would kind of be here all day. His forward tilt is a better version of Marth's Dancing Blade with a 1 to 2 frame startup and 3 separate hitboxes which come out and make this move very safe on shield. I want to note that I believe this ability can be cancelled to my knowledge, which can allow you to combo the move into itself. I have no idea how it's done, I haven't been able to see anything on it. But back when I was playing Brawl, I do remember this being a thing. So if I'm wrong, or you know how to cancel it, please correct me. His down tilt is like Roy, Chrom, Marth, Lucina, all of those Fire Emblem characters, with the difference being that it had about a 20% longer hitbox, and it had a chance to trip. I believe it was like 25 or 30%. I couldn't find the exact percentage. If you don't know what tripping is, in Brawl, you had a chance to, well, trip and fall. Kind of like if you slipped on Diddy Kong's banana peel. This gave you a free attack of your choosing, because when it happened, down tilt's end lag was only 10 frames. His up tilt is just useless in comparison to all of his other moves. Why would you use it? It's counterproductive. Just up air, neutral air, shuttle loop, drill rush, anything. His down smash is one of the fastest kill moves in the game. It has a 1 to 4 frame windup window and has hitboxes from frames 5 to 11 and has an end lag of 12 to 34, which can be cancelled. His up smash is just use your other moves. His side smash has a 23 frame startup and a hitbox from frames 24 to 25 and has a cooldown frame from 26 to 41, which can also be cancelled. Now with all that said, I have very little more to say about this character, other than the fact that he is the single most overpowered, overtuned character in the entire Smash franchise that anyone has ever seen. He was so strong that the game ended up evolving new metas to deal with him, and characters were oftentimes assigned a higher tier list than they should have been, just because they were capable of dealing with him. The characters that were given the special treatment were any character with massive zoning abilities, because the only inherent flaw that he had in his entire kit was that he had no projectiles. Being capable of changing the meta itself and lacking a single bad move just has to give Meta Knight the title of the single most overpowered character ever.